Hi Libra, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your journal messages for the 15th through the 30th of November. Hope you guys are doing great today. My table looks a little different because I'm going to be throwing a lot of cards today, because I feel like the second week, the last 2 weeks of November require that. Nutty world we're living in right now, right? So just a couple of things going on in the sky. 21st is a big day. We have Venus entering Scorpio. It's going to be there until December 15th, Venus in Scorpio. And then we also have the Sun entering Sagittarius, which is going to be in Sag until December 21st. So Venus in Scorpio, very much worth mentioning, right? I mean, this is deeply passionate energy. Very passionate, not really wanting anything superficial. No superficial anything. Say what you mean. Okay, so we got first crowning energy. No superficial anything, no middle of the road anything, nothing like that is not going to do it for any of us. It's just not. We were looking for body and soul kind of energy connection, extreme, intense, unforgettable. It's a really, really emotional position for Venus. So, you know, if you're in relationship, it's definitely going to translate that way. It could certainly. If you're not in relationship, because not everybody is, remember Venus also rules money and also rules our sense of self-worth and self-value. So these ideas are going to be kind of brewing in all of us, where it's very important that we feel passionate about what it is that we're taking part in. Because remember, wherever there's Scorpio, there's our obsessions kind of hang out, right? And it's where we want to get to the bottom of things and we want to go deep and, we want to feel, we really want to feel. So our drive is towards this intensity, right? If it's in relationships, it's intense closeness. If it has to do with like really doing some really good shadow work, it's feeling really intense and serious about that. If it has to do with the work, it's taking your work very seriously and really focusing on really creating an environment in which you're happy in, right? But blind faith in our partners or in some sort of situation or circumstance can be really hard in this energy. So that's just a little heads up. You know, if you're feeling like that, if you're fearing being too vulnerable or giving up your own power because you see something as being insurmountable, or because you're seeing somebody as perhaps having power over you, right? The thing is here, Scorpio is this all or nothing energy. And so because of that, relationships or our path on the way to something that we see that we really want can feel a little roller coaster-ish as a result, but still really good nonetheless, because it's going to be deep. I mean, that's the thing. Venus is really hanging in there as this new cycle comes in, which I think is really great. And now we also have the Sun entering Sag, which kind of opens the energies up a little bit. A leg up. Very nice. Helping out. Getting help, helping somebody else out. So the Sun in Sagittarius. The Sun's been in Scorpio, right? So Scorpio again is about, transformation and change and intensity and looking underneath and looking at the details of something, right? Sagittarius steps back and takes more of a world view, right? So the desire to reach out to the world and connect with something greater and larger than ourselves is going to be there, right? This is a fire energy. It's a mutable sign. So we're going to be very comfortable to take steps, right? To increase our understanding and awareness of the world around us. And we're going to be able to summon up the courage to expand the paths that we're on and branch into new ways of thinking that we did not think possible before. Yeah, very focused on your strong foundation. Okay, we got the lilies. Home. Puppy. Love the dog energy. Let me just pull 4 from the other Lenormand deck. So I'm liking the Sun in Sagittarius energy because we're going to all be feeling just a little lighter, stronger in our confidence, a little more optimistic, because we're going to be focusing on the big picture of something as we move away our focus from the focus from the mundane, right? you know, we may be prone to overdoing our expectations, and we have to be careful there. You know, we have the opportunity to nurture our faith and hope and vision under this influence, but you want to be careful not to overdo, not to overstep any sort of expectation that you might be setting up for yourself or with the bigger picture. Okay, let's see what we have here. Letter, very good. Heart, beautiful. Lilies, more lilies. Woo! When we get the double cards, couple of signs of me getting double Lenormand energies. Somebody is protecting you and trying to send you a message from the other side, Libra. This could be a grandparent that passed over, a friend, a cousin. Doesn't matter. Somebody from the other side is definitely trying to reach out to you. Absolutely. And you know, and I just feel like to say what you mean, I like this energy, like get to the point, because not only you, but you could be vibing this from other people. Like, you know, what is it, like get to the point of what's going on here. And we're all going to be feeling this kind of like get to the point kind of thing, because November 28th, we do have Neptune stationing direct. And when Neptune stations direct, when any, as I always mention, whenever any planet stations direct, it's always really, really strong, right? So it's like a heightened level of their element. So as I always say about Neptune, it's like trying to look at reality through like a dirty window or a thick fog, right? It is stationing direct though. You know, first couple of weeks of December, it's going to be coming out of the post shadow. But we're all going to be getting to this point of like, what's the truth? What do you mean? What's the bottom line? Give me the bottom line. Everybody's going to be like that, right? For sure. But you guys are going to be like literally saying, you know, it will be really helpful if we could just all sit down and be really honest about what's going on. And I feel like, you know, because we get the leg up energy, and the leg up energy is a helping energy. So first of all, Libra, for some of you are going to be getting help from friends or a family member if you're going through any sort of challenging situation right now. You may be that for someone else as well, but there is this idea of helping somebody out. There is this idea of reciprocity. And I want to tell you, right from an energetic level, I actually don't feel like these two are directly connected. So this could be getting to the bottom of something in a relationship, getting to the bottom of something having to do with some sort of work situation. And however it rolls out, you're going to be getting the support of friends and family. That's how I'm understanding this. We do have a lot of change. Now, I'm not going to not mention, those of you who know a little bit about astrology know that the full moon, we have this full moon lunar eclipse hitting on the 30th of November. I just don't want to go too extensively into that because I'm going to do a separate video on it because it's too much to talk about on here. It's a powerful one. We're in the middle of a story right now, Libra. We're kind of entering the middle of the story, right? Something is unfolding, right? Since this eclipse occurred along the Gemini and Sagittarius axis, it started kind of in June 2020, really, right? Depending on where you live, the end of May, beginning of June. And it's going to continue until December of 2021. And this eclipse, this full moon lunar eclipse that's happening is more potent and more powerful, stimulating an unbelievable amount of like an energetic turning point and epiphanies. This is going to be an emotional time of romance, fertilization, realization, relationships, a lot going on. So I do feel like whatever's going on, whatever's changing in your world, Libra, I feel like you're going to be pushed. You're going to be struggling with a level of angst if you don't make some sort of change. But you're going to have some help. I mean, this is incredible to get the lilies. There's no question. There's somebody trying to communicate with you from the other side. Or this could be an elder, somebody much older who's known you your whole life and loves you unconditionally. This could be getting a message from them. But the conversation is going to be about what is necessary for you to feel very grounded and rooted and safe. So we have that idea here as well. Again, we have the house. The house is about, you know, what do you need to feel very strong, rooted in a firm foundation? Do you need to make changes, Libra, in where you're living? Do you need to sell your home, buy your home? Do you need to move out from an unhealthy situation that you're in? Do you need to ask somebody to move in with you? Or do you want somebody to move in with you? You know what the answer is already. You absolutely do, because we have the dog. And the dog is just a validating energy that in the end, you are your own best friend. Now, you might get validation from a therapist, you might get validation from a really good friend, but at the end of the day, you already know what the answer is. You know. Some sort of message is coming into you, though, and the message is that of love. Somebody is delivering a message of love to you, Libra. Now, that when we get the heart in Lenormand, it is the shape of love, yes, but it's also the shape of peace and serenity. So you might be getting a notification, and maybe you're getting an email, a text message, a phone call that, hey, you got the job. You know, hey, you know, whatever it is that you need. It's going to incite this feeling of not only love, for some of you it will be love, for others of you it's just simply going to be this peace and serenity. And guys, we talked about the lilies already, but then we have the fish, and the fish is a money energy. The fish is about, do you have what you need, working with what you have. The fish energy is about resources, but it's about working with what you have from this point and accepting what you have and moving forward from there. Okay, and you already know, right? You know what you have. You know what you have to do. You know how much you need. Look at these beautiful energies, though, right in the middle with the lilies. This is fabulous. This is very spiritual, honestly. But you're going to be getting any help that you need. And you're going to be just telling, you're going to be like, somebody's going to be saying to you, all right, get to the point, what's the bottom line? Or you're going to be saying to somebody else, all right, listen, this is the deal, right? This is my decision having to do with whatever this is. And I just feel like this eclipse is just going to be making something happen, you know, for you guys, this strong energy. All right, so let's get right into, I think we're going to use the Chakra Tarot for you guys. We're going to do past, present, and then outcome. And then we'll just pull a line of what your blocks might be, you know, what your challenges might be. And then I'm going to pull a separate spread for a person that you're dealing with. Because surely there is a person, maybe a colleague, a boss, an intimate partner, a husband, a wife, a family member. Do a subjective read on that point. Okay, so this is the recent past. This is the current energies right now. This is the outcome. Challenges. Makes sense. Eight of Wands in reverse. Eight of Wands in reverse is a frustrating energy. This is indicating that there are some sort of delays that you're having to deal with. You identifying that there are problems ahead and you are uncomfortable. So for some of you, if you were in this space of saying, yeah, you know, I want to leave this job, but if I don't have anything, you know, solid in place, and how am I going to actually pay my bills? I want to leave this relationship, but what does it look like on the other side? What's my money going to be like? Where am I going to live? Like how is that all going to end up going, right? And we have the King of Wands in reverse. So this indicates somebody who is a bully. Somebody who's not ready. Somebody who's just like keeps saying, I'm not ready yet. Where they're weak. They have a weak constitution when it comes to whatever this is, whether it's like they're not ready to pull the trigger as far as something to do with work or the business or within the marriage, or you know, and look, because this is also a card of having like some sort of sexual problem, maybe you're dealing with somebody who is dealing with some sort of sexual problem, and they're saying that they're not ready to have children, instead of addressing the fact that they might have some sort of issue going on, or there might be some sort of, they might be blaming that, you know what I'm saying? So that's going to resonate with, that's a pretty specific message there, but that is what this can mean. Yeah, it's less an issue of like promiscuity. Just for those of you, that's more of like a Knight of Wands reverse kind of jam. But the King of Wands is having some sort of issues in that area. Okay? And if they're not, this is also very much a bullying kind of energy, where they're just kind of dragging their feet, trying to deflect blame, maybe even do a little bit of gaslighting just for good measure. We have this working with the Nine of Coins energy in the upright. And this is, you know, the Nine of Coins is a nice energy, right? I mean, it's about being very self-sufficient, financial gains, enjoying, things on your own. So Libra, you might be in the space of being like, maybe I want to go out on my own. I want to just do my own jam. I want to have my own business. I want to be on my own for a while. I just don't want to be connected with another energy right now, right? Some of you just may not really be wanting to continue in something because in one way or another in this recent past, maybe there was some sort of apologies that came in, but I see you recovering after some sort of loss of something, right? Doing some sort of healing from something. There's definitely healing here because the light of something has come out. This was reversed. The light of something has been shown onto something that was very painful. That was very the Three of Swords is an energy of pain, right? It's Saturn and Libra. Whenever we have Saturn hanging out, there's always this challenge, this struggle, this weight, this weighted energy, right? And swords are communication and truth, right? So it's some sort of truth though, but the light has shown up, and then there's somebody, oh, I'm so sorry that, I did that, or I was feeling this way. And there being this attempt at healing something. So it's very interesting because on the one hand, it's like some sort of, negative stuff was going on, and you got to this point where you're like, okay, I'm feeling good on my own kind of thing, even if you were still within that connection, whether it's a relationship or a business situation, you started to sort of heal and feel better from it. With the negativity, and somebody comes in and they're like, look, I'm really sorry about what happened, and trying to, resolve things. I didn't mean it, or, oh, my lights went out, sorry. I didn't mean it, or, let's try to fix this, or let's look at things from a different perspective. That was in the recent past, okay? Now coming into this energy, we have the Knight of Swords in the reverse. So this is somebody who is deliberately cruel. No better. This person is deliberately cruel. Now, you could be acting this way to somebody who is just because you are identifying that. You might be in a space of being self-protective, right? But this is a violent energy, right? This is like a very deliberately cruel, deliberately manipulative, deliberately something. Fill in the blank. Somebody is not being nice to you. We have the Princess of Swords in reverse. So this is somebody where, all right, first of all, this could have to do with some sort of negative news coming in as far as some sort of legal issue, some sort of, whatever. But it's some sort of negative issue coming in, bad news coming in, right? Because swords are communication and truth, and this energy in the reverse can indicate some bad news coming in. But this could also indicate somebody being very immature as far as the way that they communicate. And here you are feeling very, very sort of conflicted between the two, right? Because this is time to compromise and it's time to make a decision. You have to decide something. There's something that you have to decide on, right? Because you realize you're dealing with a very cold and rigid energy. There's no question. There's like somebody who's just unkind and very dishonest, Libra. I don't know, cross watches, I'm sorry, maybe the energies are enmeshed and this is all vice versa. It would still be a relevant reading, but this is the energy that I see happening here. I see there being some sort of dishonest energy going on right now. Now, in the near future, we have the Ten of Wands. Yeah, man, this all became so exhausting. This is like, I have to put these wands down. Stress, exhaustion, too many burdens. This is also the multitasker energy, It's like that catch-22. That sometimes is how I get it, where it's like, you want to leave a job, but you don't have the extra time in your day and in your life to actually look for one because it's very time consuming. Or you want to get out of that relationship, but it's like everything that's entailed in actually ending it is difficult, right? But it gets to a point where you just can't do it anymore. You got to put the wands down. It becomes overwhelming. It's like the ending, the ending just kind of happens for you. And it's a minor arcana. It's just a stage in the process of whatever it is that you're in, but you just couldn't be in it anymore. And we have the Three of Cups, and I like this because this is what I was talking about before, right, with the leg up energy. You're going to be very supported by people in your life. This is being surrounded by a very distinct circle of support. Look at this. I pulled 5 cards in this aisle, in this aisle. So I guess I was meant. And we have the 4 of Cups in reverse. So the 4 of Cups in reverse is you having a new outlook, Libra. This is great. A new outlook or a new direction, some sort of new option available to you. And the reason why this is so good is because you're feeling like you don't belong in whatever it is that you're in anymore. You just don't. Your shoes are on the wrong feet. It worked for you at one point. It doesn't work anymore. You're feeling very imprisoned in whatever existence that you've created for yourself right now. You do. And you feel rather isolated. And while, yes, it's self-imposed, because at the end of the day, we make our own choices and we get ourselves into these pickles that we then have to get ourselves out of. It's part of the human condition. We have to do that in order to grow. We get ourselves into pickles and then we get ourselves out of pickles if we're lucky, right? It's not real, meaning it's not like everything on the outside could seem to other people to be okay. And you could be plugging along, with this okay sensibility, but inside, oh man, are your wheels going? There is no question, right? We have the Temperance reverse. This is a disruptive energy. This is about chaos, feeling out of control. So you may be dealing with the Temperance reverse energy, or ultimately you may end up having that just surrounding you, where as you try to extricate yourself from something, whether you end that business partnership, that relationship, that friendship, whatever's going on in the family, it's like blipping chaos and things going out of control. But it's almost like you have no choice. You have to do it. You have this new outlook in this new direction. You have the support that you need. You have everything you need to make these changes, to get yourself out of something and into something more positive. Now, we have the Moon reverse. Way better in the reverse than in the upright, because to me, it's always about better out than in. This is about clarity, the truth coming out, truth revealed. Absolutely. This is a challenge for you, though. The fact that the truth of a situation comes out is going to be a challenge, though. So maybe it's that you're finally telling the truth about how you feel and it's not well received, or somebody ends up telling you a truth. But again, it's always better to, to be truthful and then deal with whatever comes out, Another challenge for you here is the 5 of Pentacles energy. In the upright. So this does indicate to me a challenge is that you're going to be really worried. You're going to be really worried about finances. You're going to be really worried about, for many of you, you may be stuck in this poverty mentality where you're just afraid to leave the job because you're afraid of money. You're afraid to leave the relationship because you're afraid that you're not going to have. Others of you, if you do have, you're just going to be worried about leaving and about being alone, right? Because 5 of Pentacle energy is also very much about like isolation, right? And another challenge you have in here is the 7 of Coins in the reverse. And this is about giving up too soon, right? And putting work into something, feeling like you're working at something where there's just no reward. And this is such a challenge for you. But it's like you're recognizing that there's an energy that you're working with, right? Where they just don't have the gumption to put in what's necessary to make something work. They give up too soon. They're too lazy. Lazy is such a lame word, right? But it kind of is like they're just not putting in the work, right? Because the coins are also mental, physical, emotional connection. And 7 indicates a new cycle, right? 7s are always the 4 of the world and the 3 of the Trinity come together. And in the reverse, it's like, no, they're not going to do it. They're not going to show up in the way that you need. And you know this. The truth of the matter is coming out in this Moon reverse. You understand this. But you're in this situation where it's like, I know I need to end this, but how exactly do I do it? It's really difficult for you, right? But then we have the 10 of Swords. And this is a new start. And this is about recovery and forgiveness and moving on. And moving on. And this is, this is definitely a challenge for you. It's definitely going to be a challenge for you. Creating that new start for yourself, but it's because you're feeling rather intimidated by the prospect of what's going to be required to move forward in something. And there could be this Libra type of, I mean, look, your struggle, every sign has a struggle. As I always mention, your struggle really is this idea of being indecisive. You do struggle with making up your mind. And, like, this is absolutely what I want. And then feeling that straight way for a week. It's very difficult. And it's because you guys are the scales. So it's like you can see so many different perspectives. You give people so many chances, Libra. All they have to do is say, I'm going to try harder. And it's like so easy to forget the last 5,000 times they said that, right? Because you want to believe in people. You like balance. This is something that you just naturally gravitate towards. So and you're very forgiving. So if somebody shows you that they want to attain balance within themselves, attain balance within whatever connection you have with them, you want to forgive them and you want to give them that opportunity. But it's like, I feel like you guys are reaching the end of being able to tolerate any of that. So I'm just going to pull a couple of Island Time Wellness. Okay, before we pull the energy of who it is that you're dealing with. And this is for those of you, again, person that we're going to be talking about that you're dealing with could be a colleague, coworker, doesn't matter. All right. Very frustrated in relationship. For those of you who are involved in a relationship, there's a sudden change, shocking news. This is very much a Uranus energy. And, surprise, epiphany, transformation, upheaval, hello. I mean, this is all very much lunar eclipse energy. Coffin, endings bring new beginnings, growth, change, transitioning. And there is this idea of addiction at play here. Codependency, obsession, possession, controlling, has a block, restraint. So again, the addiction doesn't have to have anything to do with like drugs or alcohol or anything like that. It really could just be like you are dealing with somebody who has an absolute block in their ability to make a change that's necessary for things to be fixed and for things to move forward. But I see you feeling frustrated enough where there's something's coming in, some sort of shocking change, some sort of upheaval. And this endings are going to bring new beginnings for you. Absolutely. All right. Let's see what we have as far as a subjective read for the energy that you're dealing with. This could be for a partner, business partner, intimate partner, family member, friend. So this is a subjective read, okay? This is about them. We have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah. Nine of Pentacles in reverse is somebody who can be rather jealous, rather envious. They might be very concerned about money. Maybe they've experienced some financial setbacks as of late. It could be. Very focused on work, very obsessed with work, very obsessed with the idea of money. Could be very obsessed about that. We have the Hermit energy, is the energy of going it alone for a bit, going within for clarity, a quest for personal and spiritual truth, them trying to figure out their own level of spiritual illumination for sure, trying to figure out the truth of a situation. They seem confused. They seem confused. I mean, so this could really be relevant for, anybody having to do with career, money, family, intimate connection for sure. Then we have the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is the truth coming out. It's the best way of putting it. Prying eyes for some. Gossip. This could also indicate gossip. They could be very gossipy. But they're speaking their truth. Some sort of truth is coming out. And it's not going to be very well received because they have the Three of Swords energy. And this is the card of pain. Now, there could be a third-party situation going on here. Libra, maybe you're just like, listen, I had to check out of this. Like, this is just not working. This could be heartbreak, divorce, loss. This could just simply be that they're depressed. Could simply be that. Because of this new realization, this new epiphany of some sort. Remember, the three, this is a Saturn and Libra energy, so it just means like challenges in some sort of partnership or shared soul connection. that you're having is that Three of Swords. It doesn't have to be anybody's cheating, but it certainly could be, but it doesn't have to be. Then we have the Chariot reverse. Yeah, listen, I mean, they're not making good decisions right now for whatever reason. This is an indication of giving up, losing direction, maybe paying attention to the wrong advice, listening to the wrong people, you know. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. So this is a serious lack of focus or ambition. And it's like needing things to be a certain way. And if they're not a certain way, they can't handle it. You know, they can't handle it. And it's like they want to work on something here, Libra. Like I'm getting that they want to work on something because, you know, the idea of like wanting to repair an energy, right, is definitely very strong for me in this energy. But at the same time, it's kind of like they're scattered. Does that make sense to you? It's like they want to fix it, but they're scattered, and they need things to be a certain way, but then like, are they showing up on their end? Oh, it's a very confusing energy I'm getting. And then we have the King of Pentacles. Yeah, there's definitely something going on with the money situation here because they're really like very focused on their money. Very focused on their money here more than anything. And I feel like part of the issue, I mean, this could really go for any kind of situation, honestly, from marriage to just partnership, you know, just being together in a relationship, business situation, anything like that. We have the Four of Cups. This is very interesting because the Four of Cups is in the upright. It's like very much like an apathetic energy, right? Feeling very unfulfilled. So feeling very unfulfilled, and we have that clarifying the King of Pentacles. So, you know, they're not happy about the money situation. They're not happy about, you know, what you guys have coming in as far as being able to move forward into the future. You know, where your business isn't making enough money, or you're both not making enough money within the marriage or within the relationship, or there's some sort of money situation going on within the family. Something is coming in that's not fulfilling. Like maybe you're dealing with some sort of like, you know, inheritance situation or some sort of investment situation where somebody is very focused on the money, but they're feeling like, okay, well, somebody's not putting in enough, and I don't even care about this anymore. This doesn't matter to me anymore. I'm just kind of done. And then feeling very apathetic about the whole connection at a certain point because they just feel very unfulfilled. All right, this is just a very like, well, it's not the way, I don't see it working. I can't do this kind of thing. Meanwhile, Libra, I feel like you're on the other end going like, what? Like really? And not in a way where, it's like you see the writing on the wall, but it's like they don't see their level of confusion and you see it so crystal clear, but they don't see it. So it's a very interesting kind of energy here. Because I do feel like, yeah. But there's this idea of just kind of like giving up, but they're not looking at their own stuff. They're just not. Four of Cups is somebody, it's an energy that just doesn't look at its own stuff. You know, it's the checklist energy. Well, I can't be in that because they do A, B, and C, and they do da-da-da, and I just cannot stand when they do that kind of thing. But they're not recognizing that whatever situation this is poking at either unresolved issues within themselves, or they're looking at you to complete something within them. You know, a lot of times this ends up being the issue. And half the time, more than half the time, most of the time, they don't even realize they're doing it. So it's not, there's no malice attached to this energy. It just seems like somebody's a little low on the EQ level, you know, emotional intelligence. Doesn't mean that they're not very, you know, intellectually smart, but emotional intelligence, it seems like they need a little work in that area, at least right now, and at least having to do with this particular issue. That's what I'm seeing here. So for you guys, let's see what kind of energies we need to tap into. Ninth house energy, a belief system. Yeah, I like it. It's Sagittarius. So I like it, right? We have the sun in Sagittarius. Focus on what you can control. Focus on what you can control. And then we have Leo. Okay, Libra, so you might have some Leo, heavy Leo energy in you. You might be dealing with the Leo. But Leo's all about that fifth house energy. It's about Oh, wow. Just allowing yourself to be creative, to fall in love, romance. It rules children. It rules the idea of children. It rules enjoying children. It's the house of fun. Leo's the landlord of the 5th house. Beautiful energy. And then the moon. Your emotions. Right. Your emotions. By the way, thank you so much to those of you who've been watching my daily moon reads. I've been having fun doing them. But the moon is really about paying attention to your feelings and your emotions right now, Libra. Like, let that rule you. You guys are in air energy. Yes, true. So you're very mental. Okay. But really, this is also about really focusing on what gets you going. What makes you feel like happy? What makes you feel creative? What is your, you're going to be redefining your moral code and your moral compass at this time. You really are. What works for you. I'm recognizing what doesn't work for you. We have the Pisces energy. Not surprised. Mercury. Scorpio, of course. We gotta have some Scorpio in there. Scorpio, the animal. It's about transformation. Being a little secretive at the moment. It's okay. Being a little lusty too. Some of you are going to be in this very sort of you're going to have this real fire in your belly to move forward. And some of you are going to feel lusty about, love or whatever, for those of you in that space, for sure. Some of you might be, feeling very excited about a project, feeling very passionate about moving forward. Absolutely. Now, Pisces, the mystic. Pisces also rules our dreams. It's about our imagination. It's about healing. Things don't always make total sense. Things might not always be practical, but that's okay. This is what the energies are saying for you to focus on right now. Focus on your healing, communicating, learning something new, and your transformation right now. It's really where it's all about. We have the South Node energy. Here you go, right? Fabulous. I'm loving that when people get in the nodal energies with this full moon lunar eclipse happening. So the South Node, life sets. Right now, South Node is in Sagittarius. And you got the 9th house, which is the home of Sagittarius. Right? It's about some karma, karmic retribution. South Node is all about karma coming back around. And then we have the beautiful Venus love. Yeah. The Venus is going to be this heavy energy, right? In Scorpio. So we got the two of them. This is going to be a very fiery energy for you. There's no escaping it, whether it has to do with a relationship, how you make your money, where it is that you see yourself going. You're definitely going to be very motivated in this energy for sure. Really going after something that you really want, but understanding that everything has happened for a reason. Everything. I know a lot of people don't like when I say that, but it is the truth. I think, anyway. All right, my friends, that is what I have for you. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.